In response to the unexpected decision made by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to withdraw the Coinbase lawsuit, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has stated that the agency is now quickly moving on from the rules that were implemented by the previous administration. Suffice it to say, as I know there are lots of impatient people, including me, this SEC has demonstrated a clear interest in moving on quickly from the failed regulation by enforcement policies of the last administration, he remarked in response. According to a report by You Today, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong announced that the agency would withdraw the lawsuit against the most prominent exchange in the United States. The trading platform will not be required to pay even a symbolic fine or make any concessions, which is an important point to note. Attorney Jeremy Hogan has also mentioned that the case was dismissed with prejudice, which means that it can be resubmitted at a later time that is more convenient for someone. I guess this SEC is not waiting for Atkins to be confirmed before making big crypto moves, he explained to reporters. Many people in the business were taken aback by the decision, even though it was anticipated that the new leadership of the Securities and Exchange Commission would take a significantly more lenient posture against cryptocurrency. Is Ripple the next cryptocurrency to be released? According to a report by You Today, John Reed Stark, a former official of the Securities and Exchange Commission, has also predicted that the appeal against Ripple will be overturned shortly. There is a consensus among Hogan regarding this forecast. The legal analyst thinks that the case that has received a lot of attention will be dismissed soon. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, may have not yet dropped the Ripple lawsuit because it is giving higher priority to cases that have deadlines that are approaching quickly. The opening brief for the SEC was submitted a month ago. Additionally, Ripple has requested that the court submit its cross-appeal brief by the 16th of April. The industry was taken aback by the surprise decision made by the SEC to withdraw its action against Coinbase. The chief executive officer of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, voiced his surprise and noted that the organization appears keen to move away from its former approach that was oriented on enforcement. Speculation is prompted by this change. May Ripple be the next block? Today, we take a more in-depth look at the price forecast for XRP and investigate whether or not the most recent action taken by the SEC could indicate a turning point for Ripple. A statement from Ripple's CEO regarding the SEC's decision. Quite a few people were taken aback by the unexpected decision made by the SEC to withdraw its action against Coinbase. Ripple's chief executive officer Brad Garlinghouse weighed in on the matter and stated that the agency seemed to be moving away from its former policy that was driven by enforcement. Ripple could be the next target of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, if it decides to take a step back from its aggressive legal action. Attorney Jeremy Hogan mentioned that the action against Coinbase was dropped with prejudice, which indicates that it may be brought again at a later date. However, for the time being, the decision indicates a change in the priorities of the regulatory body. There is a possibility that the SEC would withdraw its appeal against Ripple, according to several industry experts, including John Reed Stark, who was a former official with the SEC. This potential outcome, according to an analyst from X, has the potential to lead to an improvement in the market attitude regarding XRP in the weeks ahead. To summarize, the bottom line that the decision of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, to dismiss its case against Coinbase indicates a change in strategy, and many people are wondering whether Ripple could have a similar conclusion. Even though analysts continue to disagree on whether or not the agency will withdraw its appeal, traders continue to keep an eye out for significant changes. It would be a decisive triumph for the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, if the appellate court were to reverse either of these findings. XRP sales could be subjected to further regulatory scrutiny as a result of such a conclusion, which would also generate additional legal issues for other cryptocurrency initiatives. Although it has been one of the most carefully watched issues in the cryptocurrency sector, the complaint that the SEC filed against Ripple has not yet been resolved. Even though the lawsuit has already resulted in a substantial verdict from the district court, the appeal that is currently being entertained has the potential to change the outcome of the case. There is a high probability that the verdict made by Torres would be upheld by the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which would strengthen the legal standing of XRP retail sales. On the other hand, the chance of a settlement is still open, especially in light of the recent political upheavals that have taken place. Although it is less likely, a reversal would be a significant triumph for the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and may potentially redefine the regulatory landscape for digital assets in the United States. Along the same lines as Judge Torres' reasoning, a recent legislative hearing in the United States of America provides more confirmation that XRP is not a security in and of itself. Senator Cynthia Lummis, a Republican from Wyoming, who serves as the chairman of the recently established Senate Banking Committee on Digital Assets, offered some views on the most recent hearing of the committee, which was centered on the legislative framework of digital assets. The most recent discoveries made by the Senate regarding cryptocurrency. Earlier today, Lummis presented 3 significant discoveries concerning digital assets in an article that was published on X. To begin, she noted that the majority of cryptocurrencies do not satisfy the requirements of the Howey test, which has been around for a long time. Based on this, it can be concluded that digital assets that do not meet the standards established by Howey should not be regulated as securities. Secondly, she admitted that the United States of America is lagging behind other countries in terms of the development of crypto laws. This sentiment has been expressed in the past by a number of interested parties in the cryptocurrency industry, including Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Last but not least, Senator Lummis stated that the committee obtained the knowledge that stablecoins will move the payment system of the United States into the 21st century. In light of this, it appears that stablecoins have the potential to improve the country's antiquated financial system by providing payments that are both quicker and more affordable than traditional alternatives. The decision that Judge Torres made was correct. XRP is not a security. As was to be expected, the tweet sent out by Senator Lummis garnered the attention of crypto aficionados, with many of them centering their attention on the findings about the legal status of cryptocurrencies. According to the well-known crypto lawyer Bill Morgan, this discovery provides more evidence that Judge Analisa Torres made the right decision when she decided that XRP is not a security. It is important to keep in mind that the judge made this remark in July 2023 when she handed down her historic decision in the SEC v. Ripple litigation. The judge, on the other hand, decided that XRP could be sold under the umbrella of a security. The fact that this was reflected in Ripple's sale to institutional clients was what prompted Judge Torres to classify these transactions as investment contracts. Relevance in regard to XRP. In essence, the findings of the United States Senate regarding the security status of crypto assets provide more validation for Judge Torres' classification of XRP at this point.